Even though in other places the fact that the air relates to Keli brings out that the Keli is somewhat of Bligvul, therefore it has a tchun of Bligvul, therefore it relates to Bligvul, the Pshittus Ayin. But it says, on the other hand, it also tells me that the air itself is mobile. It itself has a shaykhs to Agbol, to some sort of Agbol. And he says, it's stronger the fact that the Keli pales on the air, that coming out of Atzilus, it shouldn't reveal itself the way it's not Atzilus. So it shows even more how it's connected to Gvul.
How do we know it's a slapshus?
How do we know that there's a slapshus that is Bekelim?
Yeah. I think the Marshal brought about the Eris Pshutim, the light in a colored glass, through a colored glass, right? So how do we know that's, which is sort of the Derech Maver, I guess?
Well, the pale, it's shining green light. You're saying that the green has nothing to do with the light.
Yeah.
But the mere fact that the color of the Keli has an effect, that the air is nida, as a green thing, if it would be Poshet Begami from this Shiur, then it wouldn't get affected by any Shiur. If we're speaking...
It's not affected.
It shows itself in this thing. It's Mizgal and such a If it will be ultimate Pshitas, the mere fact that it's able to come in such a way shows that it's not Poshet Begami. You say Seichel is not going to get colors. Why? Because the Yahweh's the colors is Poshet. Something's ultimate Pshitas. How would it ever get a tzir, any tzir whatsoever? The fact that it could even, whether it's the keach lahavis, whether it's the keach hamafil, the keach hanefesh, keach hatnur, that's pale tnur through the yad. So the keach hatnur is a keach ruch. But the fact that it gets in touch with the tnur gashmis shows that it has a yachs, the of tnur. It's not mushal gam from the tzir tnur. If it would be a seichel, wouldn't relate to it. Even that, there's a skull in the Eifin Aksive. So that also relates to the Yad and it's Mislavish Bay. If it would be totally removed from any tziyur, then any tziyur wouldn't be able to grasp it, to take it. That's the Raya. But maybe the stronger Rayas. When you see later, he uses a Lashon, Ha'emes Eid La'atzmi. It's like the fact that's Eidos, that's Mislavish. He uses a Lashon. How do you know, your question, how do you know? This is the last few lines he's going to end. From what he spoke about in the beginning of the Hemshech, the whole Avort that we see in it is vacated by a person. Upon him first, he asks the question, Man Yemen, because we see the idea of Islapshus, and it doesn't change the air, it doesn't change the Pshitas of the air. He brings it out from the air, so Shlifnat Simtzum. That over there is the Keich HaGvul on the air, that believe was made in the Yisar Shimu, and still doesn't affect it. So this he answers. So he doesn't say in the Eifin of Shaiv Teretz, he just says it's not like the Lifnei Tzimtzum. That there, the air is the way it is. He says, but there it's different. Why? Because the Asias, the Kalim, so to speak, the quote-unquote Kalim, are not really Kalim. There's no Metzius of Asias. Misdugma Asias Shebeluchas, which was nothing but the Luchas itself. It's not something else covered over, or through this I could see, get to know Pshitas. It's the way the Pshitas itself shows itself. So there's nothing other than the rock itself. So there's no question, how could there be a Gilui of Ein Sof Kemeshahu? Because even the Kelim is also Ein Sof. It's Ein Sof just like the air. This we get the Moshe from the Avatzmis, shows itself in different colors, but it's all expression of the Avatzmis, so it doesn't ever leave itself. It's not because,
But the Payal is up when it's Asis.
But the Asis are Ein Sof. It's Keich Ein Sof. It's
because
the Amiti, so Ein Sof, it could show itself on two sides. And that's one thing he says, that really it's like two sides of the idea of the concept of Ein Sof. If he's truly Ein Sof, not if. Because he's truly Ein Sof for Shleimus Negulas, he has it many ways, he could express itself. If he is a Teir Dovor, so then there's one way he expresses itself, one way not. He has his way of expression. But yes, the word from the Keich HaGvul, Lifnei Tzimtzum, is not in Yoni in Gvul. He's Ein Sof, therefore he has Gvul. So really, in the end, it's one reason for both. It's Shleimus Nekula, but mainly has Ein Sof in this and Ein Sof in that. So that's what we say over there. There be Skalos Yisachtos. It's one unit. It's not two things. Because it's Ein Sof, I can take other kinds of Weisen, them Eifen, other than them Eifen. So it's not a contradiction. It's the fact that he has the of Gilui, therefore the of Helm is a Stirili. If Gilui is mit einen Gilui, therefore Take Helm is a Stirili. But yes, that Gilui, the Tacha Bita from the Ein Sof, so maybe he could use that also, the of Helm. It's not a steer to his expression. It's like an Ave. If Ave is a Teir have Ave, a Teir of Ave is identical, only come out in kindness. But if the Ave is not tur in the yin of Ave. It's the etzem zok charis that he's supposed to mitzvah with it. So whatever has to be used will be used, not even as using a tool which is opposite of itself. Rather, because it's indefined how it's to express itself, it will be expressed in everything, and that itself will be an Ave. Okay, a real Ave shows itself that it doesn't have to dafke be in glutton. If it's always in glutton, it shows that it's mugbulik Ave. Mitzvah Ave means that it can be in any way. And he says v'gam, even more than that. This is where the v'gam, I think. V'gam, 10 lines from the top, page chof. Left from the top, yeah. V'gam, the pin.
V'gam bazeh?
Yeah, v'gam bazeh k'shahoya agilu de in sof ha-bli gvul. Hoya keich ha-gvul b'chnas helam b'tachlis. When the Ein Sof was revealed, keich ha-gvul wasn't felt. That the keich ha-gvul was a part of the bli gvul. He saw bli gvul, he has gvul too. It wasn't seen as an inyan for itself. Therefore, you can't ask how is he made in the gvul and stay the way he is, because in the country he lifted up everything to his level, to his state. So b'meil it's tishkin shayla how could he be begilui? Because the nukud of everything is bli gvul. He saw bli gvul, he can have gvul also. That's the taken of the gvul, not as gvul for an inyan of gvul, of akbol, of helen. The whole idea of the question is to bring out an answer. If we were to see that the whole idea of the question, the whole idea of a problem, the whole idea of something not letting us go further is in order to get us deeper into it, so we don't see it as a problem. If we're able to realize that, so then it's not heipach hagilui. For me, it's not a shayla how the gilui could come everywhere, because everything is an expression of him. The fact that I can have tzir is mitzad bli gvul should like it's explained, the kshem she'achad tzimtzum, kshem gal, the keich hagvul is gabra, the keich habli gvul, and bli gvul behel megam. Just like achad tzimtzum, we say just the opposite, that the keich hagvul overruled over the keich habli gvul. At the kach that the bli gvul is totally not felt, although he's here. Shari agam, the insof nimtzu b'chol mokim mamash b'chol achol ad lamata mata d'leis asar ponim minei. He's here b'chol hatekev. Bli gvul. He didn't come less bli gvul. Zamit zab bli gvul. Only he's everywhere kemei shehu. Umikol mekim har'eni murgish klal. He's totally not felt. Ad yesh madregesh ein bem giler insof klal, which means hainu she'ein ani yedim klal me'inyan holocaust. They have no relation to the Eibishter. So that shows that the keich hagvul was overpowering. He's mailam legamri the bli gvul, although he's there. So it overrode, so to speak, the bli gvul. So to fakir, the keich bli gvul is overriding the gvul. That the gvul is a prat in the bli gvul. It's not as ein of gvul. Making kedam atzimtzum she'er ein sof ha'y begilui ha'y memal kol mokem achol. What's that called mokem achol? The b'chol chelkei acholo. And all and what's that chelkei achol? The idea of chol. What's that called? Eining nirgish alakos, helman alakos, all different levels of it. How you begin the mamish kemas eir ein sof. I might as well come on, Perigor. The chol zehu b'madregesh hakedem atzimtzum. This is all true b'fnei atzimtzum. Why? Because the idea is not relating to anything but himself. The Rebbe gives a mashal from a child could understand also the chiluk of ein sof shel lifnei atzimtzum l'achar atzimtzum. There's something mashal. The Rebbe says a child when he wants something and there's nothing else in his life, this is the only thing in his life. Everything means this. Everything falls into this. Everything comes in the room. Oh, it means this, and how he's going to help him to get it. There's nothing else but what he decided in his life. That's a child gets over. He says, gets caught up in his things. Same thing was lifnei atzimtzum. The shas ein sof is meir. Everything is expression of ein sof. Just as we say in eir. Eir is megale. Ein zuloscha. There's nothing but the Eibishter. Everything comes to the Eibishter. You see something. This is there. Weiter the Eibishter express himself here. It's not the chiluk of tzaddikim or balichuvah that you want to say. There's aveda melamayla lamata melamayla. The tzaddik sees in everything. This is the expression of the Eibishter. Says the tzaddik, which is chatchile elkus bepshitis. So what's everything? Another expression of the Eibishter. Melamayla, but whoever is not the madrigas tzaddik, what does he see in everything? He sees a helam and elkus. Then he's figuring out, oh, the emes, this itself can be on its own. I have to have a source. But first he sees the helam. The tzaddik doesn't see helam. He sees the welt is nicht kasha for the cause. The welt is another expression of the Eibishter. Every nekud, every tzir. What is this? This is the Eibishter expressed himself weiter. That's the way the tzaddik sees everything. Merely, even helam, he doesn't see it as a thing for itself. It's another tool. How can we connect to the Eibishter? It says about the middle Rebbe that leyod atzuras matbeya. What does it mean leyod atzuras matbeya? So the Taich, or he gave zdok, it says leyod atzuras matbeya. So there's a dig. It says leyoda. He didn't have their head. He didn't realize what is the coin, what is this money, what can we do with money. He didn't have any value. Oh, money. It was only a tool. It wasn't. He didn't see it for what it is. The story that the Rebbe gave Tzedakah and the Tzemach Tzedek. They both gave without cheshbenis, but the Tzemach Tzedek at the end of the year made a sachakel. And the Mittel Rebbe, he never even made a sachakel. It was just without any cheshbenis.
Tzemach Tzedek make a sachakel.
But he knew from his income, and then he wanted to know. They wrote down.
But if he gave without cheshbenis, so he doesn't know what he gave.
But then he made a calculation, I guess, what's left over before the Gemara. Somewhat of way to calculate, backup calculation. It says Ki'ilu, I don't know, and somewhere else I saw the story about a Chassid and Tzemach Tzedek. I forget, Tzemach Tzedek was on a cheshbon ganz on.
Driver, it's wine driver. It's the middle and Tzemach Tzedek. The same one for the Tzemach Tzedek, but the Tzemach Tzedek told him the share was
Anders.
He's given with one, he stopped the one in, he's given him money from Ashkia. And the next thing he gave him again. But the Tzemach Tzedek said, you have changed from last time. So he kept the first one.
And then so, yeah.
I can identify with the Tzemach Tzedek.
What's the word? What's up? Did you like it?
I don't know. It's a
Tui Fani Aveda.
huh?
Because
A sure cure for bankruptcy.
Say for hours, 17 hours, that more.
Because they remember like that.
He used to have vacants for a few days in a row. The Chassidus used to come to see the Mittel Rebbe, and they weren't able to meet him. He was out of order. He was in Vegas, trance, and they
For how long?
A few days.
A few days?
Yeah. The Chassidus came and they didn't get to see him, so the Shaman told him, give me a madbei, I'll let you see him. He went inside, took the Mittel Rebbe, he turned him around, he showed him to the Chassidus, turned him back, and he told him, believe me, he doesn't know what I did this whole thing.
But the violent, the Shabbos made
He wouldn't know that I did
He
this.
doesn't know that I did. I don't know which Rebbe that he went and he said a mime and he came back and they asked him questions about the mime. He said, welcome mime, was mime, welcome mime, what the mime? He didn't even remember that he went to shul and he spoke in front of the Elam. He was speaking different than usually.
He said no, the Rashab. He told us that.
One of the Rabbi, I don't remember if it was the Tzemach Tzedek or upon the Nekudah was that some document says that's the Nekudah of everything. V'meila, even Gvul is mighty to express that ain't sof of Leibusha. There's no way that he can express himself. But to see Gvul, that's what it is. But she elachar tzimtzum islapshus plini the erein sof bekelim sheim b'pchinas Gvul. But the or elachar tzimtzum, which means that he's relating, he's not expressing self. That's the difference. Lift that tzimtzum, lachar tzimtzum. Lift that tzimtzum shad the gilha ain't sof. Ain't absolute revelation. There's no limitation in everything and anything. Well, achar tzimtzum teach is relating that someone else should be able to handle him, to be able someone else to get him. How is it possible that the air should come into Kalim, should relate to something else other than air, and it should have effect on it, which is even a greater Hagbola? It's even not just that it relates to it, but it becomes even more movable. And how is it possible? So is that and I'll say mi yemer it's mislapshis. Obehecher sheir is that zil sem knes slapshis bimi ba'akedim. O commission is bola parakei vov. Ba'anureim we see sheyesh knes slapshis be'elamis. We see that there's a slapshis ne'elamis shezel b'sheidish me eses is that zil. We see that there's a slapshis ne'elamis. And where does this come from? From eses that zil. The fact that there is a slapshis ne'elamis, what just a slapshis ne'elamis, that it is chayis ne'elamis l'fiyerech ha'elam. It's not overwhelming us. It's not coming with faith and hamoid. It comes according to what we can handle, what the elements can handle. That's the pshat elements. Shazel b'sheish. Where did it start from? Yes, that's it. They're relating gem ha'ort fayenen. Yen is on nam of v'erkenem, that the world should take him the way he could take him. And the gam or emes eid la'atzmi sheim b'pchinis is slapshus pnimi. What does this line mean? What's the pshat del shur? Emes eid la'atzmi sheim b'pchinis is slapshus pnimi. It's Kilo, the Rebbe Rashab is in that Tzilas, and he's saying, Azaydas. It says a page over there. Emes Eila Atzmei.
וגם האמת על עצמו מלבד כל הסברות וההוכחות, עניין זה הוא באופן ברור ומוחלט שכך היא האמת, שאין האורות בבחינת התלבשות פנימי, וממילא מתבקשת השאלה.
Yeshua, what pshat Emes Eila Atzmei? Because of all the rayas? B'klal kol harayot, אז מה פשט Emes Eila Atzmei?
וגם האמת על עצמו מלבד כל הסברות וההוכחות,
מלבד כל הסברות, אז מה פשט Emes Eila Atzmei?
עניין זה שהוא באופן ברור ומוחלט שכך היא האמת, שאין האורות
ככה המציאות.
שזה המציאות, כן, זה מה שאומר.
It's a modern expression. I
never saw it either.
Emes Eila Atzmei.
ביטוי זה מקורו בספרי הראשונים, כתוב פה. ביטוי זה מקורו בספרי הראשונים.
כן, 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 אבל מה הפירוש פה?
זאת אומרת, מלבד כל הסברות, שזה...
זה המציאות, Emes Eila Atzmei, this is the fact. He was bringing gereis herahin. This is the mitzvah. Vanave, he's there. Like for us, the table's there.
He's there. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's another picture. Eich efshali shebeguf shubchin is gvul yivri slapshus eir habli gvul. So how is it possible that eir habli gvul should come to dover mugul behechen chlemish agam eir datzilus ein yivchin is pshitus min is bli gvul mamish. So we must say that even there, Vatzilis is not pshitas.
And all this was just to prove that's the conclusion. To show that.
Yeah.
If it wouldn't be a slapshus, you wouldn't have to say that.
It wouldn't be slapshus, then it wouldn't have to be immovable. Because it's not relating, he's coming the way he is. It wouldn't relate to him. You want to take me, you don't take me, you don't take me. He doesn't care, like a Rotzen. Rotzen doesn't relate to the Keches Pnimim. He moves them, but they don't get him, they don't know him. But Hashenk in the air comes, they slaps that there's a Yedi in there, the head in there, the head in Pshittis, the way Keli takes Pshittis, which is not a mitzvah Pshittis. It can handle Pshittis. Like we say, from Chochmah we'll know that there's a Nefesh HaMaskil. There's a person behind it. But what do we know about person? He's Mufshas in his bull, but it's a mocker for this Hakbola. We can't picture in our mind that Pshittis Lagami without any Tziyur. Because we don't know how to hold it. The only way we know that there has to be a Mufshit, because it's a source for this for the Kelim. There's the Adam HaMedaber, there's the Adam HaMiniyah, there's the Adam HaMischasid. Who is the Adam? Hecher from Tzayin the Zayin. His Iyin is Hecher, but not ultimate Pshittis. Ultimate Pshittis, we don't know that. There's no way to take it. There's no Kelim cannot tell us that. If Lul is Gala on his level, the way he is, fine. So then we're not going to know maneuver anything. Anything will run according to what he wants, according to the way he wants, and it makes anything move. But it's not that he relates to them and he explains to them. And what we know about Rotzen is not Amitas Rotzen. We just know that he's beyond this limitation. But what is the Amitas Pshittis that we can't know? Because Gvul can't take believable. Tzir cannot tell us about it. We can know that there's something beyond Tzir. But what is that? Hecher v'tzir, or Amitzah Pshittis not much.
I think the Maisa is, if it would be B'derech Ma'aver Levad, then you wouldn't have any Gvul. You wouldn't see Gvul.
It would be B'yah. If it wouldn't have effect on it, that's the word.
Because everything would then be B'skalis. If you're just,
Concerning Atzilut, you mean?
Or even higher. But let's say, okay, let's talk about Atzilus.
Maybe that's a pshat to Emes Eila Atzmei.
Yeah.
The fact that there's element that.
If the order is mislabish b'kelim, so through that comes the whole seder of Gevul and Helim and all this stuff. If the order would just be like the light shining through a colored glass, yeah. Yeah, it's true. You see the color, but it's not really. The truth is, it's not affecting the ore. The ore is what it is.
But then the air is not coming here.
Huh?
So then the air is not coming here.
So then you'd only see then a kopanim. You wouldn't have a real Indian of Gevul. You'd have some sort of maybe a semblance or whatever, but a real Indian of Gevul you won't have. be more or than Keli.
That's what Chassidus doesn't like the Moshe from this Moshe. Not Nikne, but hey. The word Chassidus brings the Moshe and doesn't bring it. It like brings it to show that.
I just remember from the Sheish
yeah, fine. But there's a mind from the Rebbe that brings one this Moshe is not a good Moshe. If he is coming the way he is, how does he relate to Chalta Kelim? He schlucked up the Ayin Bais. Fine.
So that's what it could mean over here, that since we see
Avelt.
Avelt with Gavul, with the Helen, and Mezetish Kanalikus, and all this stuff, so then we have to say that what we're seeing, and what we're seeing is not a column. Maybe we could think it's a column, yeah.
Why do you say?
Maybe the Velt doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. So the Rebbe Rashab brings a raya somewhere else. Says Taita says it exists. Reishis Bar Elokim. So the world is true. The world is emes. Ravas is the Gevul, the Helen. So the fact that we see the Helen, that itself is a raya that there's slapshus panini or the Keli. And the Keli has an effect on the or.
Why can't they just Kelim is working now?
What do you mean? There's no such thing as Keli Lavad.
Can't